वेलकम बैक टू आवर चैनल। आज हम एक और एसेंशियल कंपोनेंट के बारे में डिटेल में जानेंगे जो हर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एंथुसियास्ट और आईओटी डेवलपर के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, द डीएचटी सीरीज ऑफ सेंसर्स। We'll be doing a deep dive into the DHT11, the more precise DHT22, and its convenient wired version, the AM2302। ये सेंसर्स टेम्परेचर और ह्यूमिडिटी को मेजर करने के लिए वाइडली यूज होते हैं। हम इनके इंटरनल वर्किंग से लेकर एडवांस्ड एप्लीकेशंस तक सब कुछ डिटेल में समझेंगे। सो लेट्स बिगिन दिस इंफॉर्मेटिव जर्नी। तो व्हाट एग्जैक्टली आर दीज डीएचटी सेंसर्स? DHT stands for Digital Humidity and Temperature। ये लो कॉस्ट डिजिटल सेंसर्स हैं जो दो अलग-अलग एनवायरमेंटल पैरामीटर्स, टेम्परेचर और ह्यूमिडिटी को एक ही कॉम्पैक्ट पैकेज में मेजर करते हैं। हर सेंसर के अंदर एक कैपेसिटिव ह्यूमिडिटी सेंसर, एक थर्मिस्टर फॉर टेम्परेचर और एक छोटा सा 8-बिट माइक्रो कंट्रोलर होता है जो सारी प्रोसेसिंग करता है। द बेस्ट पार्ट एंड व्हाट मेक्स देम सो पॉपुलर इज दैट दे कम्युनिकेट ओवर अ सिंगल वायर। इसका मतलब है कि आपको अपने माइक्रो कंट्रोलर पे सिर्फ एक डिजिटल पिन की जरूरत है टू रीड बोथ टेम्परेचर एंड ह्यूमिडिटी। दिस मेक्स देम इनक्रेडिबली इजी टू इंटरफेस विद प्लेटफॉर्म्स लाइक Arduino, ESP32 और रास्पबेरी पाई। आप इन्हें वेदर स्टेशंस, स्मार्ट होम सिस्टम्स और बहुत सारे IoT प्रोजेक्ट्स में यूज कर सकते हैं टू गेट अ बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ द एनवायरनमेंट। Let's take a moment to understand what's inside these sensors। कैसे काम करते हैं ये? There are two main sensing elements। For humidity, they use a capacitive sensor। इसमें दो इलेक्ट्रोड्स होते हैं with a moisture holding substrate between them। जब हवा में मॉइस्चर बढ़ता है, the substrate absorbs it, which changes the dielectric constant between the electrodes, and thus the capacitance changes। For temperature, they use a thermistor, which is a type of resistor whose resistance changes significantly with temperature। Specifically, it's an NTC thermistor, which means its resistance decreases as the temperature increases। The analogic values from both these sensors are fed into an internal 8-bit microcontroller। ये माइक्रोकंट्रोलर इन एनालॉजिक वैल्यूज को डिजिटल में कन्वर्ट करता है, applies calibration coefficients that are stored in its memory, and then transmits the final data as a 40-bit digital packet over that single data line।
Let's talk about the DHT11। ये इस सीरीज का सबसे बेसिक और सबसे सस्ता सेंसर है। It's the perfect choice for beginners who are just starting with environmental sensing। ये वोल्टेज रेंज ऑफ 3 to 5 वोल्ट्स पे काम करता है, मेकिंग इट कंपैटिबल विथ मोस्ट माइक्रोकंट्रोलर्स। इसका ह्यूमिडिटी मेजरमेंट रेंज 20% to 80% है, with an accuracy of ±5%। The temperature ranges from 0 to 50 degrees Celsius, with an accuracy of ±2 degrees। इसका सैम्पलिंग रेट 1 Hz है, which means you can request a new reading every second। For simple indoor projects where high precision is not a critical requirement, the DHT11 is an excellent and very economical choice। Next, we have the DHT22, which is a significant step up from the DHT11। It's for those who need better accuracy and a wider operating range। इसका humidity range covers the full spectrum from 0 to 100% with a much better accuracy of ±2 to 5%। The temperature range is also much wider, from a freezing -40 to a hot 80 degrees Celsius, with an excellent accuracy of ±0.5 degrees Celsius। This makes it suitable for both indoor and outdoor applications। However, this higher precision comes at a cost। The sampling rate is slower at 0.5 Hz, which means you can only get a new reading every 2 seconds। अगर आपको accurate data चाहिए for a serious weather station, a greenhouse, or any scientific experiment, then the DHT22 is definitely the better choice। The AM2302 is essentially a DHT22 in a different package। Electrically and functionally, ये बिल्कुल DHT22 जैसा ही है। It has the same high accuracy, the same wide measurement range, and the same 0.5 Hz sampling rate। The main and only difference is the convenience of having pre-attached wires। This makes it extremely easy to use for quick prototyping or in educational settings where students might not have access to soldering equipment। You can directly plug it into a breadboard or connect it to your microcontroller without any hassle। So, if you see an AM2302, just think of it as a user-friendly DHT22। Let's have a quick side-by-side comparison। As this table clearly shows, the main trade-off is between cost and performance। The DHT11 is ultra-low cost, but has limited range and accuracy। The DHT22 and AM2302 are slightly more expensive but offer a much wider range and significantly better accuracy, especially for temperature। The sampling rate is another key difference, with the DHT11 being twice as fast as the DHT22 AM2302।
आप अपने प्रोजेक्ट की स्पेसिफिक नीड्स और बजट के हिसाब से इनमें से द मोस्ट सूटेबल सेंसर चूज कर सकते हैं। All three sensors in their 4-pin package have the same pinout. Pin 1 is VCC, where you provide the 3 to 5 volt supply. Pin 2 is the all-important data pin. Pin 3 is not connected, so you should just leave it floating. And pin 4 is GND. एक बहुत ही क्रिटिकल पॉइंट जो अक्सर बिगिनर्स मिस कर जाते हैं, यू मस्ट यूज अ पुल अप रेजिस्टर ऑफ अबाउट 4.7K to 10K ohms between the data pin and VCC. This is because the sensor has an open drain output. The sensor can pull the data line low, but it cannot pull it high. The pull-up resistor is what pulls the line high when the sensor is not transmitting. Without this resistor, the communication will be unreliable or will fail completely. Wiring these sensors to an Arduino is very straightforward, thanks to the single wire interface. यहाँ आप standard wiring diagram देख सकते हैं. VCC goes to the 5 volt pin on the Arduino, GND goes to GND, and the data pin goes to any digital I/O pin, for example pin 2. Or as I mentioned, don't forget the 4.7K pull-up resistor between the data pin and the 5 volt line. The wiring is exactly the same for all three sensors. It's a very clean and simple hardware setup. DHT sensors use a unique and proprietary single-wire protocol. It's not I2C or SPI. To start the communication, the microcontroller has to send a start signal. It does this by pulling the data line low for at least 18 milliseconds and then pulling it high. The sensor detects this, takes over the bus, and responds by pulling the line low for 80 microseconds and then high for another 80 microseconds. After this handshake, the sensor starts transmitting the 40-bit data packet. The timing of the pulses is very critical, but thankfully, we don't have to worry about implementing this complex protocol ourselves. We have excellent libraries that handle all this low-level communication for us.
The 40-bit data packet that the sensor sends has a specific structure. It's divided into 5 bytes. The first 2 bytes represent the humidity value. The next 2 bytes represent the temperature. And the last byte is a checksum. The checksum is simply the sum of the first 4 bytes. The microcontroller can calculate the checksum from the received data and compare it with the received checksum. अगर दोनों match करते हैं, it means the data is valid. If they don't match, it means there was an error during transmission and the reading should be discarded. For the DHT22, the data includes decimal values, giving it a higher resolution. For the DHT11, the decimal parts are always 0. Let's get to the fun part, the code. सबसे पहले, you need to go to the Arduino IDE's library manager and install the DHT sensor library by Adafruit. It's the most popular one. Then, in your sketch, you include the library, define the pin number you've connected the sensor to, and the type of sensor you are using, DHT11 or DHT22. You create a DHT object. In the setup function, you initialize the serial monitor and the sensor. Then, in the loop, you just call DHT.readHumidity and DHT.readTemperature. It's that simple. The library takes care of the complex timing, data passing, and checksum validation. You get clean float values for temperature and humidity. For more serious and robust projects, you should add some error handling to your code. The read temperature and read humidity functions return a special value called nan, not a number, if the reading fails. So you should always check for this using the isNan function. अगर reading fail हो जाती है, you can print an error message and try again after a short delay. The Adafruit library also has a function to calculate the heat index, which is a more accurate representation of how hot it feels, as it combines temperature and humidity. For even better accuracy, you can take multiple readings and average them to filter out any noise. One of the most classic and rewarding projects you can build with these sensors is a personal weather station. आप एक DHT22, एक Arduino और एक LCD डिस्प्ले यूज करके एक सिंपल वेदर स्टेशन बना सकते हैं that shows you the current temperature and humidity. अगर आप एक ESP32 और ESP8266 यूज करते हैं, you can connect it to your Wi-Fi and send the data to a cloud platform like ThinkSpeak or Adafruit IO. This way, you can monitor the weather in your home from anywhere in the world.
Greenhouses are all about creating the perfect environment for plants, and DHT sensors are a key component in automating this. By placing multiple DHT22 sensors at different locations inside a greenhouse, you can get a complete picture of the environment. This data can then be used to automatically control ventilation fans, misting systems, and heaters to maintain the optimal temperature and humidity levels for your plants. This not only improves crop yield but also saves energy and water. In our homes and offices, DHT sensors play a crucial role in HVAC, that is, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems. They are the sensors inside smart thermostats that monitor the indoor air quality. Based on the temperature and humidity readings, the thermostat can intelligently control the air conditioner, heater, or humidifier to maintain a comfortable and healthy indoor environment. This not only keeps us comfortable but also significantly improves the energy efficiency of the building. You can also build a very useful data logger to record temperature and humidity over a long period. All you need is an Arduino, a DHT sensor, and an SD card module. You can program the Arduino to take a reading every few minutes and save it to a text file on the SD card with a timestamp. This is extremely useful for scientific experiments, monitoring storage conditions, or just understanding the environmental patterns in your home or office over days, weeks, or even months. So, to summarize, what are the pros and cons? The biggest pros are that they are extremely cheap, very easy to use with the available libraries, and they consume very little power, making them suitable for battery-powered applications. The main cons are that they are not the most accurate sensors available, especially the DHT11. They have a relatively slow sampling rate, so they are not suitable for applications that require very fast readings. And they can sometimes fail to give a reading, so error handling in your code is a must.
अगर आपको अपने प्रोजेक्ट में प्रॉब्लम्स आ रही हैं, here are a few troubleshooting tips. First, and I can't stress this enough, double check your wiring, especially the pull-up resistor. It's the most common point of failure. Second, make sure you have selected the correct sensor type, DHT11 or DHT22 in your code. They have different internal timings. Third, remember the sampling rate. Don't try to read from the sensor too frequently. Give it at least 1 second for the DHT11 and 2 seconds for the DHT22 between readings. If it's still not working, try a different digital pin on your Arduino or even a different sensor, as they can sometimes be faulty from the factory. So, which one should you choose for your next project? It's a simple choice. For basic indoor projects, learning purposes, or when cost is the most important factor, the DHT11 is a great choice. For any application that requires higher accuracy, a wider measurement range, or is located outdoors, you should definitely spend a little extra and go for the DHT22 or the AM2302. The improvement in performance is well worth the small increase in price. And that's our comprehensive guide to the DHT family of sensors. I hope this detailed video was informative and gives you the confidence to use these sensors in your own projects. अगर आपके कोई भी questions हैं, please feel free to ask them in the comment section below. We'll do our best to answer them. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your fellow electronics enthusiasts, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth tutorials. Thanks for watching and happy building.